What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Let me finish getting set up in this thing because I want you guys to be able to hear me. We're going to be dropping some game today. Oh, yeah, man. Y'all come on in this room. Come on in the room. For those of y'all who've been following me for a while, y'all know that's how I used to start the show before we got all fancy snancy and got theme music and all of that good stuff. So you guys come on in, man. We're just going to be breaking this down. First of all, I want to thank everybody who has been following and subscribing to the channel. I do this for you guys. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you guys. And I just want to thank everybody for following along and just making this all possible. If you guys can hear me, please drop a 1 in the comments. I'm hoping that you guys can all hear me. I'm going to be checking the audio just to make sure that everything is everything. All right. So we have great audio. Everybody can hear me. What's happening, everybody? I'm your favorite plug. Please, peace to the planet. Peace to the planet. Thank you guys again for following along with the show. And I am your host, RD Muhammad, where I'm going to be dropping you free game. Tonight, this is free game Monday, which is probably a first that I've done using the platform to do free game drops. But I posted several, two primary content reels over the last week. And these have been getting the biggest response. So tonight I'm going to be dropping you guys free game on the box trucking industry. This is the non-CDL box trucking industry. A lot of the comments and the responses that have been coming in has been about, man, you can't be picking up loads like that. How are these people getting these loads and getting this kind of money? So, hey, check this out. This is why y'all tune in and watch the show. I'm going to be giving you free game on where and how to get these loads so you can achieve your box trucking industry dreams. Now, secondly, one post that I did about Jim Jones. That Jim Jones post is now trending. Thank you. But it's not trending in a good way. A lot of people got into their feelings about that post. And I have come to the realization that people don't know what business they want to do. They really don't. They don't know what business they want to do. And they want you to tell them or give them a business. Let's start right there with tonight's show. Because this is the biggest thing that's going around right now. And I tried to do this live twice earlier today, and I was in a bad location, and it didn't do it remotely. So let's get right off into that part. That video, and I'm going to try to pull this up so you guys can see this. This video that was done by Jim Jones, who was a big-time rapper in the urban community. He had a big old hit song years ago called Ballin'. You know, Ballin'. Y'all know that. That's the same Jim Jones, right? All right. So he was on this podcast called Earn Your Leisure. And Earn Your Leisure, he asked the question, well, he made the statement. I'm this kid in the projects, and I'm trying to pull this up. I'm this kid in the projects. I don't have a lot of money, blah, 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 blah. I got $500. And what do I do with this $500? That was the question. So I had did the post. I said, man, I wish he had have asked me that question because I would have gave it to him. I mean, he would have. Sorry, someone's trying to log in. Yes, it's me. All right, this is what we're trying to get logged in so I can share this page with you guys. And what transpired out of that was trust this device. Yes. I don't know why this thing keeps rebooting me. But anyway, so I had said, I gave him the lowdown on what to do with $500. Now, out of that $500, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys didn't particularly catch that content video, that video, actually, let's just get right off into playing it because I want you guys to hear, and I was getting beat up. Man, I was getting drugged through the mud. Woo! That thing was terrible. I was getting drugged through the mud. And let's go to share. Because I want you guys to see this. Share screen. And we're just going to do a quick recap real fast. Not a lot. But I just want to get you to see what we was going through. Here's the video. If this is going to play.
That doesn't have too much in the projects.
Yeah.
But I just got an extra $500 and I don't want to spend it on Jordans. And I want to see if I could make this money work for myself. What am I doing with this $500?
You want me to, you want some businesses you can do with the 500?
I want something.
Man, I wish Jim Jones had asked me that question. First thing you want to do is call the info plug, RD Muhammad. And then I'm going to plug you in with all the information that you need in order to turn that $500 into a business. Create you a virtual address. $15 to get your virtual address. Now, second thing we're going to do is create you an LLC. Register for $50. We're going to go to Google Workspace. And we're going to get you a business email, get you a business website, a business phone number for another whopping $15. So 65, 15, now we're at $80. Man, I ain't even broke a sweat yet.
I got $500, right?
That's the video in its whole entirety, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what I was speaking on in this video, I gave him a breakdown of what to do with that $500. Now, I got him a registered, legal, legit, registered LLC, a virtual address. So this is a business address. Virtual addresses are where you can obtain a business address. And you don't physically have to have your business there, but you own the rights to use that physical address in a commercially zoned area, and that can be used on your LLC registration. All of this is legal and legit. Been doing this for years. Secondly, get him a virtual, not a virtual, but a real website. Get him a business website, a business email, and a business phone number. All of this for $80. Now, he got $500, but for $80, I set him up in business. That leaves him $420 left. You take that $420 and you split that. That's $210 a piece. Now you go open up 2 bank accounts, business bank accounts, because now you have all of your articles of operation, which is your LLC registration number, your EIN number, you got your business address, You are set up in business at that moment. Here's the response of a lot of people. That still ain't giving him a business. It's anything you want it to be, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest problem with new business owners, they don't know what type of business to even start. Now, here is the thing with that. In the industry, we call these particular people thrill seekers. They don't care what kind of business it is because they're only focused on the money. The money. For the love of money. They don't care if it's out there selling pies because they don't have in their mindset building a business for longevity purposes or establishing and creating something that you can build for your family. All they are focused on at that particular moment is how much money am I going to make? those people generally tend to fall in that 80th percentile of businesses that fail in the first 3 years. Why is that? They don't have a love for the business. They don't care about the business. They just want to make money. And what these business owners typically tend to do, every time they make money in the business, they write themselves a check. You completely take all of the money out of the bank and then put it into your account. And listen, family, this is the play. This is what a lot of people don't understand. When you write yourself a check, which that's your right. I mean, that's your right. But let me tell you why that's a bad thing. When you write yourself a check in the first 3 years of business, you are now telling the IRS that you have earned an income. Now, you start paying taxes immediately on that first check that you write yourself. What happens if you don't continuously have money coming in to replace the money you just wrote yourself a check for? Your business suffers. Because the business is supposed to be self-sustaining. You created this business to sell whatever products and services you're selling. So when the money comes into the business, you take the business money to replenish the business, not to replenish your pockets. First 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, first 3 years. I've been in business since 1995. I stopped taking a paycheck 15 years ago. Absolutely shut it down. Why? Because then I started learning I don't need money. Let me say that one more time. I don't need money. The business is the one that needs the money because the business is the one that gets all of the tax breaks and the tax deferments, as well as all of the other things that are entitled in that's under the banner of having an LLC, a INC, a CO, whether it's a C Corp or S Corp, it don't matter. You personally, ladies and gentlemen, do not need money. Any money that's coming into your hands and into your pockets and into your bank account, you are getting taxed on. When I first started out in business, this is what I was doing. Now, I wasn't even set up and registered correctly. I had a business license and I had an EIN number. Now, the EIN number, up until that point, it allowed me to purchase my materials at wholesale. Sometimes manufacturer costs because I had an EIN. The business license allowed me to do business within the city and the state that I resided in. But I was never an LLC. So I wasn't writing off my miles, my gas, my mileage. I wasn't writing off my car insurance, well, at the time, my truck insurance, my truck notes. I had a shop at my house. I wasn't writing off a portion of my utilities that I was using to work my business at the shop in my garage. I was missing all of that information because I was focused on the money. I shared earlier, I was a thrill seeker myself. This is what we call people in the industry that they don't care what type of business they do. They just want to make money. We call these people thrill seekers. They're not going to be around a long time. 3 years. You can look that up and Google that. SBA, the Small Business Administration, reports that 80% of new businesses fail in the first 3 years. So if 100 businesses started, you down to only 20 that's left after 3 years? This is because, one, people don't know how to properly structure their business, and two, they start taking money out of the business. It's going to take you at least 2 years. The IRS gives you at least 2 years to claim a loss in the business because you're trying to figure things out. You don't know when your high seasons are, your low seasons are. You don't know what holiday is going to affect your business product or your business service. You have to know all of these things. You starting a new business and all you focused on is the money. And then the other side about these thrill seekers, let me say me, I didn't care what type of business it was. That's what made me do so many different things. I shared this. I sold Amway because I was attracted to the IBO, the independent business owner. You know, they get you with all of these terms, man. And I have gone as far as Lansing, Michigan. I have gone all the way to Michigan, chasing after, watching these conferences and buying all these books and buying all these CDs. I started Amway when they had cassette tapes. That's how long ago I was in Amway. Then when it transitioned from Amway to Quickstar, then boom, I followed right on along with Quickstar. Now, I had two uplines at that time. Oh man, I can't remember the first one, but he had a big, huge Cadillac dealership over in on the East Coast. It'll come to me in a minute. But then when we transitioned over to Quickstar, I was under Orrin Woodward and Chris Brady. These two guys were hot in Quickstar. Man, they had hit that $1 million bracket in, it was a ridiculous amount of time. And they had a strategy. And every time we went to these meetings, Billy Florence was my first upline over here on the East Coast. Billy Florence had a huge network and marketing business. And he was one of the old school Amway people. He was a triple crown. But anyway, I did Amway, did Quickstar. Then I did Mary Kay because I wanted to be the first man to have a pink Cadillac. Just thrill seeking. I didn't have a love for any of these businesses. I did kombucha juice. I did Tahitian noni juice. I did daggum Tupperware. Tupperware was my first MLM business when I was 16 years old. Tupperware. Some of y'all might not even be old enough to remember Tupperware, or you see it now in the Dollar General, but that used to be an exclusive product where you went door to door and you had the Tupperware parties. Ooh, I'm telling you, fam, I did them all. But I didn't have a love for neither one of these. I just wanted to make money. That's all I was focused on. That's why I did not last in none of those businesses. I didn't last. Now, I've had a business since 1995. That was my custom leather business. Thrill seeking because I was on the city festival and flea market circuit. In my unentrepreneurial mind, I told myself, I just need to turn $1,500 in a weekend. I had that thing already broke down, $15 per belt. I'm going to take 100 belts, and then whatever left after I get through cutting these belts up, if I can sell a bracelet for another $6 or $7, that's just extra gravy on the biscuit right there. But I thought that I had a business. I thought I'm doing business, but I was only using my EIN number and my business license to be able to buy my materials at manufacturer and wholesale costs. I wasn't doing business. I was on the hamster wheel. That's what I was on. Because I didn't have the business properly structured. So in the eyes of the IRS, I'm just making extra earned income. I threw myself in a higher tax bracket and didn't even know it. And they were raping me on taxes. And I didn't even know it. I didn't even know it. And I'm upgrading and buying stuff and that I really didn't need to buy. But I'm making money coming in, and I never paid attention to the business. That's why it took me so long to actually start making money. I didn't start making money until 12 years ago. When I met a man that told me, hey, look, one, you too cheap. You are too cheap. You need to add $100 on everything. And I was like, dude, people ain't gonna buy this. But again, in my employee mind, I'm only thinking about people that's on my financial demographic level. When there is a whole nother world out there, when you look at how much a Gucci belt cost compared to a custom made belt. Gucci name ain't nowhere on my stuff. But this is how people in the mass consumer market thinks. They would rather wear somebody else's name on their person and give that other person more value than they would rather wear their own name. That's how consumers think. This is how we have been trained and as a consumer market, because they have done a social study on people, especially the middle and lower class. They know us to, marketers know us to a science. So again, how do you choose a business? And I don't know what I want to do, Robert. I just need to come out there. I just need to make more money than this. No. Let's get into it. First thing you do, if somebody was to take my coaching course, first thing I want to ask them in the consult, what do you want to do? If you had time and money, if time and money was not an object, what would you really be doing? And that's one thing that people have never asked themselves, because they never thought beyond the job. They never thought. Let me check this audio, man, because I'm having people come in and out, and I don't know if the audio is bad and they're not able to hear me. But ask yourself that question right now, whether you're watching this on the replay or whether you're watching it live. If time and money was not a problem, okay, audio is great. If time and money was not a problem, what would you really be doing? Because that is what you are passionate about. You are passionate about that. But work, life happens, and it kills your dreams. Be it you got a family now, you're married, you got children, you got to go to t-ball and basketball and cheerleader practice and all of this kind of stuff. Hey, we stop dreaming when life happens, and then what we all do is, I got to get a job. And we totally forget about what we really would be doing. So that's the first thing that I ask in the consulting is, what do you want to do? What are you passionate about? Because if you're not passionate about anything except making money, I can't help you. No coach should jump into them waters. People who jump into those waters and start just assigning you something to do, ladies and gentlemen, they just taking your money. I'm just going to be real with you. I'm not one of those people who are going to take your money because you're not passionate about it. I'm always looking at the fact of somebody saying, man, I took that RDM business course, man, and that thing didn't make me no money. Now, that person told somebody that my course didn't work, and then they told 5 other people. Now, I got a whole bit of market that don't even know me saying that my course don't work. So I don't jump into those waters of trying to assign somebody a business that they don't love. You're not going to work it because you're not passionate about it. That's the first thing you must ask yourself. What am I passionate about? Because if you just want to make money, hell, go get you a second job. Go get you a third job. Hell, start stripping. I don't care. Because if those professions are all about the money, the quick lick. Hell, you can go out there and sell dope and make money. That's quick, fast turnaround money. But then you got to be willing to accept all of the BS that comes with it. Because that's a whole nother world of problems. So the first thing you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is ask yourself what you want to do. Now, out of the millions and millions of ways to make money legally, there are literally millions. Find your passion. Because what I found out, I didn't start making, remember I told you guys, I didn't start making any money until 12 years ago. 12 years ago was when I found my passion. And my passion was helping other people achieve their dreams, because when I see you doing it big, that made me feel some type of way. Because every time somebody has a success that takes my course, that lets me know my thing working. Now, I was my own guinea pig first. I was my own guinea pig. I can't tell anybody how to do anything that I haven't done myself. Why would you? Why would you listen to somebody who hasn't been where you're trying to go? That's absolutely insane. Which is one of the things you need to stop doing if you want to be in this entrepreneurial space. Stop listening to people that haven't been where you are trying to go. How can they tell you how to do anything? They haven't been there. I don't care how many YouTube videos they watch. If you have never been a successful business person, you can't tell me anything. Stop right there. Full pause. You can go and disappoint somebody else with that information. Oh, man, I got a cousin that got a friend that got somebody else. His uncle had a business. Man, forget all y'all. I don't want to listen to nobody that hasn't been that way. So the information that I give my clients and my students, I've literally gone through it. This is why I don't take no excuses. Everything that people try to come at me with, man, I can't do it because of this. Yeah, all right. Look, that's what we're going to do. When you get your mind right, then we'll continue and get you rolling. Now, second thing you want to do, your business that you choose needs to do one of these three things. If not all three or 2 out of 3. It has to do one of these 3, though. This is the only way you'll know if you have a good business. If your business that you choose to do, if it does not solve a problem, business has to solve a problem. What do you mean by that? Solve a problem? Lug nuts on a car, on a tire. That solves a huge problem, because without the lug nuts, whoever invented lug nuts on a tire, he solved a major problem because tires were just falling off. Whoever invented the 4-way lug wrench, he solved a problem because now you can take the tire off right there on the spot. Whoever invented the tire jack solved the problem because now you can jack the car up to use the lug wrench to take the lugs off to take the tire off. Simple. See what I mean? Your business has to solve a problem. Another thing your business must do, if it has to do one of these 3, it has to ease somebody's pain. So if you're choosing a business that doesn't ease somebody's pain, you're not going to be in business long. What do you mean, Robert? Back brace. Whoever invented the back brace, he eased somebody's pain that was having problems picking stuff up. Ace bandages. If you sprain your ankle or sprain your wrist, guess what they do? Wrap that ace bandage around there. It eased somebody's pain. Glasses. Glasses, one, solve the problem and ease somebody's pain because now I can see better. I'm not stumbling and fumbling and squinting my eyes trying to read the board. See, solve the problem, eases somebody's pain. Now, the third thing your business It has to do one of these three. Cater to the ego. If you have a business that caters to somebody's ego, you will be in business a long time. What do you mean, Robert? Anybody heard of a little blue pill called Viagra? That's all ego. Now they got these little pills on the internet called Blue Chew. That's all ego. Anybody ever heard of Magnum Trojans, Trojan Magnums? That's all ego. Every man on the planet want to have a Magnum in his pocket, but it's all for ego. And they swear up and down, oh man, I'm extra large. But listen, family, again, it doesn't matter how silly, how comical the product is. It's all ego. Because it makes a man feel some type of way when he got that XL in his pocket. It makes him feel some type of way. It makes him feel some type of way when he got that Cialis or that Viagra in his pocket. Now, when I was in the motorcycle world, we had these patches called Black Ants. And Black Ants was the gas station version of a Viagra. Oh, man, and man, you take that thing, man, you just automatically thought you was finna be Superman. All ego. No telling how many billions that little $7.99 pill made. Real talk. So if it solves a problem, eases a pain, or caters to the ego, we can go as far as in the women's arena, BBLs. BBLs caters to the female's ego. She swears up and down she's super fine now. A BBL. Back when I was in high school, everybody was wearing the colored contact lenses. Oh man, you was the thing if you had hazel brown eyes. It made you feel some type of way. Cater to the ego. No telling how much money Bosch and Lomb made by changing people's eye color. Because we're in a society to where people want to be everything else other than themselves. If you have a business in that market, you will make money forever. Solves a problem, eases somebody's pain, and caters to their ego. But first, you have to know, the first thing is what type of business you're passionate about. Now, in these three industries, you can find anything. I gave the example, if you are a good baker, you can bake cakes and pies like nobody business. I know one lady that I went to school with, high school with, she is awesome with them sheet cakes. Sheet cakes, S-H-E-E-T. Dude, she is boss with them cakes. Everybody in the city of Gaston want a Lala cake. So if y'all know Lala and y'all watching this podcast, tell Lala I gave her a shout out, so I deserve my 3% on every cake she get after this one. But real talk. If I had now she's making money. I don't know if she has a business or not set up, but if you are the Lala in your area and that's what you're passionate about, I can show you how to turn that into a full-blown out business to where now all of your material are tax deductible. All of I'm quite sure you're going to need some more ovens. I can show you how to hire a contractor, an electrician, to run you more plugs in your garage or whatever other spare room you have, because you're going to need those extra ovens, and you're going to need vent hoods and to pull all of that heat out of the house. I can show you how to get all of those people hired, and it becomes a full tax write-off. Why is it a tax write-off? Because this is equipment that your business needs in order for you to make money. So instead of wearing out your one oven, Now you got 2, 3, 4, 5 ovens all running cakes at one time. You're going to need a bigger mixer at this particular point in time. This is business equipment. This is tax deductible and able to write off. So the money that you spend on these pieces of equipment and all of these upgrades is now tax deductible. Your pans, your frosting bags, the little stuff if you're using glitter or whatever and gold leaves, and I know y'all see some of these videos on Facebook and Instagram. Everything all the way down to the spatula. This is all write-offs. Now, what does a write-off mean? That means anything you spend money on in the course of your business is now tax deductible, and now that comes out of the money that you earn. So now that brings your taxes down low. See, there is a whole nother world that people need to understand about business other than I just need to make money. Because if you don't know how to protect yourself, family, the IRS is going to come in and take all of it. Did you know that you can write your car off? Black America was the #1 consumer buyer of Mercedes-Benz in 2023. Listen to that again. Black America was #1 in the world. Google it. Don't take my word for it. Black America bought more Mercedes-Benzes than any other group of people on the planet. But they bought all of the useless Benz, which in the industry we call the working man Benz, the 200 series and the 300 series. These, it's a Mercedes-Benz, and you can tell yourself what you want to tell you, but you stuck with a $600-700 car note on a car that you can't even get no money back off of. See, if you had a business, here's the turn. Now you can buy the 5 and the 6 and the 700 series. Now, in the old days, it was called a 100% write-off. You can write off 100% of the value of the car in year 1. Now, last year, you can write off 80%. Next year coming up, you can only write off 60%. It has failed. It has dropped down that fast. And it's going to bottom out at 60%. But if you bought one that was $100,000 and you were able to write off $60,000 of it, now you got a $40,000 balance left. But then, see, when you have a business, I can show you how to write that $40,000 off. You got the car note, tax deductible. The insurance, tax deduction. The gas, the mileage, the oil changes, the tire rotations, the maintenance. All of this makes up that other 40%. Now, this is what we call, and I'm pretty sure you guys have heard this on social media, how to buy a free car. See, there is a whole lot to being this entrepreneur thing than just making money. Money cannot be your focal point. That's obvious, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in business, you're going to make money if you work the business. But if you're not passionate about the business, you're not going to work it. And then you'll find yourself in that 80th percentile, going right back to work in year 4, and then everybody that's still at the job that you left when you was shooting off your mouth about, I man, F this job, I got my own bit, I ain't gotta work. See, you gotta be careful what you say out your mouth because it come back and haunt you, especially when you don't have all of the knowledge. Knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, is knowing where the ledge or the edge is so you don't fall off. Break that word down. Write it on a piece of paper if you want to. Knowledge. And then put a hyphen in between the W and the L. You got to know where the ledge is. This is the information that I and like myself and others give you guys. But if you only zeroed in on the thrill seeking of the money, The IRS and the government gonna come and take everything because you still got stuff in your personal name. I know several business owners right now still have their cell phone under their personal name and personal social security number. Why? Why? And you conducting business on your personal cell phone. Your personal cell phone, you conducting business on it, and you paying that cell phone bill every month, and you don't have no money coming back off of it. See, it's a whole nother world you need to understand before just jumping off into the entrepreneurial space. If you're still going on vacations as a business owner, you just look, I wish y'all give me some of that money because that's what you're doing. You're just throwing it away. Now, let's move on. I think you got to get that part. Solves a problem, ease the pain, and caters to the ego. First, have a passion about what business you're going to do. Now, this other particular content video that I posted up last week, and I've been posting a lot of these. There's a new industry. It's not a new industry, but it is gaining a lot of attention now, especially in the world of social media. A non-CDL box truck business. There are several people across the country jumping on this trend. This is one of those businesses that kind of hit like pallet flipping. People were doing it, but they were doing it on the low, making a lot of money. They were selling a lot of products in pallet flipping. I actually had a gentleman named Daniel Core out of Ohio that was on the podcast, and he was talking about pallet flipping. That brother now, well, at the time he did the podcast, he should have now come off of his job. See, it's a lot of ways to make money, family, but you got to be passionate about what you're doing. That brother got pallets and stuff coming in from all over the place, and I was trying to pull the game out of him. God knows I was trying to pull the game out of him. Brother, you talking about leaving your job? I'm on any type of business that can set somebody free from the taskmaster. I'm all over that type of thing because I can add that particular job skill to my course study. I already have one that's called a Craigslist and Marketplace game, which is one that I've given people for free if they're just interested in making money. My most successful student or client that took my course in Greenville, South Carolina, he didn't know what type of business he was going to do, but he took the Craigslist and Marketplace game and flipped that into a thrift store. Now he has two. First year, he pulled himself off of his job. Second year, he pulled his wife off of her job, and they have two thrift stores. They're each running one. They even got the children and all that stuff involved. The children, because I showed them how to go in and hire the children and pay them to do that. Your child don't have to be 16 years old to work in the family business. No, and you can pay them up to $14,600. That has gone up, $14,700 a year. Instead of paying them a salary, you take that money and put that into their trust fund, and now your children are millionaires before they even went through puberty. Beyonce showed us that game. Beyonce hired her daughter, Blue Ivy, to dance on stage at her concerts, and she pays her $1 million. Get that. $1 million to dance on stage with mama, and you get to travel all around the world. See, the book of the Bible says we have not because we ask not. Now, this is where the matrix comes in. Some of us don't even know what to ask. So we will never have because we don't know what to ask. The best place to hide knowledge, family, is in a book. I wish that I could say all of this stuff that I know. I wish that I could say it's mine, but it's not. I read it In a book. Why is the best place to hide knowledge in a book? Somebody out there can help me out. Why is hiding knowledge in a book the best place to hide it? Because people don't like to read. This is what they learned in the social studying of the middle and the lower class. They hate to read. They want everybody to give them the game. They want everybody to give it to them. Man, stop gatekeeping. Man, you can tip me up. Man, if you tell me, man, I'm gonna do it. But listen, this is why I charge people. If you don't do everything I tell you to do, you just wasted my time. And time is money. But if you pay me, I don't care if you do it or not. Isn't that what your college professor tells you when you get to college? You can come to class or not come to class. I've already gotten paid. It's up to you if you want to pass this course. But the information is going to keep rolling to the ones that want to pay attention, the ones that want it. You can go party all your years of school if you want to, getting this student debt. You can do that if you want to. But the ones that are tuned in, the ones that want to get it, this is what, listen to me, you think it's an accident that the nerd kid, the one that couldn't play a lick of sports, he winds up being the agent of the kid that was the best at sports? Ooh, y'all let that marinate in your spirit for a little bit. Shaquille O'Neal, when he was at the LA Lakers, he signed a $120 million deal. $120 million. But guess how much his agent got? The agent didn't have to go to practice. He didn't have to work out. He didn't have to rub down with icy hot and sit in ice baths and all that stuff. The agent didn't do none of that. The agent got 10% of that 120. So the agent got a free $12 million. And you think Shaq was his only client? No. I'm sorry to disappoint you. If he had, now Shaq was the biggest, 120 million. Imagine how much Rich Paul made off of that LeBron James contract. LeBron is a billionaire. Family, this is what we got to pay attention to. I don't care what's going on in sports. I don't care what's going on in anything that's not making me any money. I do like money. But this side over here where the knowledge is, that's where the real money at. That's where the real money is. So if you're not focused on gaining the knowledge to protect you, making money is easy. I tell anybody that. Making money is easy. That's not hard. You can go right now to Big Lots. If you got a Big Lots in your area or any type of like a Ollie's or something like that in your area. Right now, this is the fall season in some states. The leaves are already starting to fall. The leaves are changing or whatever case may be. You can go right now to Ollie's and Big Lots and buy you 2 of those big wide fan rakes, which is only going to cost you $4. Then you go buy you a 100-box bag of leaf bags. That's going to be another $10. So you out of $14 plus tax. And you can walk your entire neighborhood or half a town that you live on and just rake people's yards. Charge them $20. The first yard, you done made all your money back for your material, and you still got a rake and that 98 bags left. Making money is easy. The problem is people don't want to do the work. I don't want to do that. No, what you ask for a business that you can do for $500. You can have you a landscaping business like that. But you got to first have a plan. So you rake so many yards, going house to house to house. Hey, look, I'll rake your yard for $10. I'll sack everything up and set it by the road so the trash people can get it for another 10. That's your $20 right there. Then you remember the customer that you got, because guess what? The leaves aren't going to stop falling at least for another 2 months. So you can hit these same people for $20 every week. You do that long enough, now you can go get you a leaf blower at the pawn shop. You can buy you a backpack leaf blower at the pawn shop for $100. So you save all your money. Don't take a pay. Remember when I said don't take a pay? Reinvest it back into the business. Now you ain't got to walk with that rake no more. Now you got a backpack and them same leaf bags in your pocket. So now you blow all the leaves in one central location, and then you just take them and scoop them in that bag, tie them up, boom. Now you're getting the work done twice as fast for the same $20. Making money is easy. How do I know? Because that's what I did in 2001. That's how I know that game. I don't tell you nothing that I haven't did myself. And I ran that play all the way up until the spring when the grass started growing. By that time, I had enough money to buy me a lawnmower. And I push mode until I saved up enough more money and bought me a riding lawnmower. Man, I had one of those old school Murray riding lawnmowers. It didn't even have a steering wheel. It had the handlebar swings where you turn the wheel like that. But I bought that daggone Murray for $75, and it worked. And it worked. And I did that all the way up until I took all of that money, invested it back into the leather business, and then boom, that's what got me on the flea market and festival circuit with the leather business. See, my passion was the leather, but I had to do what I had to do to get the money to get the leather business up and running. If that's not your game plan, family, look, being successful is doing what you hate, but acting like you love it. I got allergies. I hated cutting grass. Man, I was out there wrapped up like a Taliban out there, man, because that grass was killing me. I'm about to sneeze myself off the lawnmower. I sneezed so much that my nose bleed, but I had a plan. The leather business was what was going to take me to where I wanted to be. Family, listen, I hope that you got something out of this little episode here. That's the play, how to do it. Oh, back to the trucking industry. We got 6 minutes, so I'm going to give you this in the trucking industry real quick. Box trucking, CDL. This is the new trending business that's taking off, and it's all over social media right now. The biggest question that came out of that, and I did the research on this, how do you get loads? And I know these people on social media only give you a little bit. They give you a little bit to whet your appetite. Oh, they show you receipts and all that stuff. Even some more experienced truckers was like, man, you ain't making that kind of money, which I beg to differ. The money is out there. It's people's hustle that they lacking. See, these guys, they are their own dispatcher, as well as they're their own drivers. So if you are a truck driver or in the truck driving industry and you are hiring somebody else to be your dispatcher, that's why you're not making that kind of money. Because that dispatcher got to make some money. And then before the dispatcher, the broker got to make his cut. So guess who's getting the short end of the stick? It's always the employee. And they are only going to pay you what they think you're worth, because guess what? All you doing is driving. See, that's how people with money look at the middle and lower class. All you doing is flipping burgers. You don't deserve no more than $15 an hour. It ain't like you invented the hamburger. It ain't like you did nothing more special to make a Big Mac or a Whopper taste better. All you're doing is slapping it on the grill and letting it cook. I mean, that ain't rocket science. But then you got the employee that's in there burning up his hands, getting grease popped all on him. He's saying, hey, man, I need more money than this, man. Man, my arms is all kind of spotted up. Family, you got to have a plan. So the game that I was going to drop to you guys is this right here. And I'm going to drop this in the comments. I'm going to drop this link. That's not it. There is a link. Actually, you can just go on YouTube because that's where I pulled it up at. See, this is another thing about people when you come into your own business. You can't be lazy. Just because you have a business, that don't mean you're going to start making $10,000, $20,000 a day. It don't work like that. You have to build the business. This is what we call sweat equity. And if you are not willing to put any sweat equity, blood, sweat, and tears, late nights, cold sweats, waking up out the middle of your sleep, working your business, leaving early, coming home late. Listen, I worked more hours in my own business than I ever worked on a job. All you're going to get that job is 40 hours. Get your own business. Man, you're going to be putting in some doctor's hours. You're going to be seeing some 100-hour work weeks. But it's to get you to a point. People don't want to work their own business. They want something that's already ready-made. That's not practical. It's not. That don't even make common sense. Nothing in this world is ready-made. Why do you think so many people who win the lottery, they broke after a year? You won all that money, now you ain't got nothing. You know why? They didn't put no sweat equity into it. All you did was went there and spent $1 on the ticket. And then the whole time you in there buying these lottery tickets, you never had a plan for what you was going to do with the money. So now that you got a business, what is your plan? How are you planning on scaling that to make the amount of money that you need in order to sustain your life? So the first thing you got to do, ladies and gentlemen, start researching. Don't just assume that everything somebody is telling you is cap. That chaps my hide. You won't even attempt to do the research to even prove that is wrong. You just want to say, man, I ain't never heard of that before. Ain't nobody doing that. You get out the way, man, because you ain't going to be in business long. You will not be in business long. At least go in there. And the question should be, how are they making that kind of money? Not, they ain't making that kind of money. How are you making that kind of money doing a non-CDL box truck? You're in the trucking industry, and without having a CDL, that doesn't put you under the DOT, so you don't have to go through all of these weigh stations and all of that stuff. Come on now. Your question should be, how are they doing it? But here's from just my quick research, there are 2 programs that you can obtain that will give you loads. And they call this the load board. Some of y'all who are in the trucking industry, y'all should know about that. Now, how do I know about it? I'm not in your industry, but this particular game I'm interested in because now I can teach my clients and students if that's what they want to do. I got the info. There's this board, these 2 websites and apps. One is only for PC users. You can only see all of the info on a PC, so on a computer or a laptop. And that's called the DAT Power. That's the software. Now, if you're in the trucking industry, you know about the DAT load board. You can only see the DAT Power load board on a computer. Now, there is one that you can use for your phone, which this app, the content videos that I put up was the guy was in the car looking at his phone. And that's called Trucker's Edge. Trucker's Edge. Now, this is a cheaper version, which is $39.99 a month in order to access that app. And I don't know that it didn't give me a price on the DAT Power, but the Trucker's Edge is $39.99 a month. Now, before anybody starts talking about, man, paying no $39, not getting no loads, that's why you ain't gonna make no money. If you can afford $40 to get as many loads as you can wherever you want to drive, because with that app, if you're from, let's just say, Alabama to Texas, Dallas, Texas, you're going from Birmingham to Dallas. That's a 5.5 hour drive. Now, it would be stupid for me to just book one run to Dallas and then I'm going to come back empty. That would be dumb. And I'm paying $39.99 a month for an app that's posting all of the loads that's on that route. Even if I don't pick up a load in Dallas, that would be my first thing. So since I'm in Dallas, I want to find and shop around and look at the app and see who's in Dallas that needs a load to come back on my way to Alabama. It might be in Shreveport, Louisiana. That's on my way. It might be all of the information that you need. Just those two apps and my short 15-minute search on how to get loads as your own dispatcher. So if I'm interested into that box truck industry, then guess what? I want to be my own dispatcher as well as my own driver. You can create 3 separate businesses right there. You got one LLC created as a dispatcher. That's a check. Then you got another business that's open as LLC that's open as the trucking company. And then I am going to hire myself as the driver of that company, which makes me a 1099 contract employee. Now, yeah, I got 3 checks all coming. Now, it's some game in that. I ain't gonna give y'all everything. It's some game in that, though. But that's 3 checks. And this is what the money is doing right here. Left hand, right hand, back to the left. It's just going in a circle, just like this. This is how you run a business, family. I hope y'all got some information out of this. This is why y'all tune in and listen to me, the info plug. I plug you in with the information that you need. And you ain't hurting my business. I'm not hurting your business. So why wouldn't I want to give you this game? Now, how to protect yourself, that's sold separately. So if you guys are interested in learning how to be set up properly in and getting your business off the ground and up and running, I can show you how to get that done. You can get everything done. You can be set up legit and registered and ready to rock and roll in 1 hour. And listen, the question you should be asking is, how can I do that for $80? I can show you how. And you can have all of your certificates, your registration number, and everything. That don't come from me. That comes from the United States government. I'll see you guys on the other side. Peace, family.